Going back and watching it, just get the ooga booga booga,
the mask,
the mask and everything.
Welcome to this week's Top 5, brought to you by the Nerd Cave Network. I am Derek, joined along with, as always,
Zach
and Robbie.
I am very excited about this Top 5.
We're a little lackluster on this end, but
This week we're going to be doing our Top 5 platformer games.
the Derek Diamond genre of video games.
I love platformers.
Nothing
Zach,
wrong with that.
No,
Let's start us
we're
off
giving him a hard time.
with your Top 5.
My number 5 is an Xbox 360 game. Originally, I have played it on the PS4, though, and it's Limbo. This is a totally different platformer than what usually is associated. Usually, platformers are colorful, bright, happy, go-lucky times. Limbo is about a dead kid in pretty much purgatory with deadly spiders and just different things trying to kill him.
I hate
him.
spiders.
So it's very dark, but it's very interesting. A lot of puzzle solving. So it's just something that was very interesting playing through it. So Limbo's my number 5.
Sadly, coming in at my number 5 would be Sonic.
Yes! Which one?
The one that came out on Sega Genesis.
Which one?
There's like 50 of them
I
because
know.
Sega doesn't have anything but Sonic.
That is very true.
They've also killed that character.
Oh yeah, they have.
I
The
can't-
one where he runs around.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
one. I
Okay,
can't
that
remember
one.
the name of it, but it's the one that I played.
Is it a 2D or 3D?
2D.
If it's for Genesis, it was 2D.
Yeah.
I was just getting a little bit closer to.
I can't remember the name, but it's the one that I played a crap ton on my Sega back in the day.
I had the handheld one, like the Sega little handheld.
Oh, the Game Gear?
Yeah.
I used to love that
I
thing.
love that thing. I love
The batteries would last about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it had the backlit screen.
Yeah.
You'd have to put like 8 AA batteries in that
Or
thing.
you just plug the cord in and just go with
Yeah.
it. The Terminator game was so fun on that one.
I never played that one.
It was
awesome.
actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. My number 5 was the last great game for the Nintendo 64, and that would be Conker's Bad Fur Day.
There you go. One.
Yeah.
Originally, it was going to be your typical Nintendo happy-go-lucky type thing, but then Rare was like, you know what? This is
make
going to be
it
the last
crude.
game for Nintendo 64.
Curveball.
Let's just add a little bit of South Park to it. It's very, very different. I mean, you fight a opera-singing pile of poo.
Mm-hmm.
Very graphic, very bloody, but a very fun platformer. You get to do
I can
like
dig
a war level. You get to be a vampire bat. There's a lot of variety in this game, but it's very fun. They did remake it for the original Xbox with a better multiplayer.
And it's actually on the Rare Replay too as
Yes,
well.
it
Yes, it is.
I haven't touched it yet, so.
Yeah. But my number 4 is something that I've actually played on the channel, and I've only gotten a little bit into it, but I'm really, really enjoying it, even though it gave me lots of frustration. And that would be Shovel Knight. It came out on the Wii U originally, but it's now on the PlayStation 4 and the Vita. And it is so much fun.
It is.
I like the style. I like the music. It's just so good. And if you're looking for a platformer that's out now, get Shovel Knight. It is so good.
Even from the very beginning, when you see the developer logo and you hear the little sound effects, it just feels like an old school video game.
Oh yeah,
and it's
definitely.
so much fun.
Yeah, I loved it.
Coming in at number 4 for me is Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I played the mess out of that game. All the
On the PlayStation too.
yes, all the parkour and all this. All in all, it was a great game. The combat was fun. It was just
Yeah, it was a really good game, and it was just something totally different, and getting to rewind time through it.
like with that little dagger.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Par sweet.
I
So,
like it.
Derek, what's your next one?
My number 4 would be starring a marsupial from down under, and that would be Crash Bandicoot.
Nice.
Crash Bandicoot
Nice.
2.
To be specific.
Yes. I love the first one, but the levels were kind of the same. They were all on
Yeah.
different tropical islands. With this one, you have snow levels, water levels, jungle levels, much more variety.
Yeah, and then you had the boss battles as well.
Yeah,
They
boss
were
battles were a
always-
lot of fun.
Always fun.
I've
And-
played that game and beat it so many times, it's not even
and
funny.
a bunch of these games are available on the Rare Replay also, because I have Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie.
Crash is not a rare replay though.
I was
Crash
completely...
is a
Yeah.
No,
I'm a
well, it was
complete-
Naughty Dog,
Yeah.
but
I was completely on the wrong thing. I was thinking...
another character that's
Banjo
been
and
killed.
Kazooie. But anyway, my bad.
It's all good.
We'll strike him after this video.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm forgetful.
My number 3. We're on 3, right?
Yes.
I was thinking about beating you to a
Or
bloody
number 4.
Oh,
Oh, no, you're on number 3.
okay. I'm on
okay.
number 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mine number 3 is Rayman Legends, and the reason this makes it on there's been tons of Rayman games.
Oh, yeah.
But Rayman Legends was just a lot of fun. It was during a time period when I was doing my internship, so I didn't have a lot of time to play. So I could come home and put in 15, 20 minutes, beat a few levels, and just enjoy a game. The music in this game, the level design, it was very music-oriented with what was going on in the level. And it was challenging at the same time, and I know that they've put out more and more Rayman games, and I know Rayman Legends was one of them was free on the Xbox One for a while. So it's just a really cool game. Graphically, that art style just works really well for a platformer. So
That whole series is underrated.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
Now, one of my all-time favorite Sega games. I'm going. You went SNES in another video. I'm going Sega. The Aladdin game.
Oh, that's
Very fun game.
Oh my gosh! Just for throwing apples, jumping on camels, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
You got to stay one jump ahead.
Don't make me bust out in song on this thing.
See, what's funny is there was the Sega one, and then there was a SNES one as well.
Yeah.
And the Sega one was a little bit better compared to the SNES
SNES
one.
one.
Yeah.
There were other games like that where there would be a Super Nintendo version and a Sega version, but they would be a little different. Because
Yeah.
I think the Toy Story game was like that too.
Well,
God,
they
the
had
Toy
a,
Story game was so bad.
They had a.
I wanted to play it. I played it so much, but it never got any better.
And
Yeah.
Disney did a lot of that because they had Tarzan for PlayStation 1. They had The Lion King. I think it was Sega that I had The Lion King for, something like that.
Yeah, they did a lot of licensing stuff with that.
But that is my number 3 because it's just a great game. Enjoyed it.
My number 3, and you guys knew he had to make an appearance at some point, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
As great as Sonic 1 was, Sonic 2 was just that much better. Introduces Tails. The graphics were a little bit better. The special stage was awesome. You're running through this tunnel and you're having to collect rings and avoid bombs, and you get to turn into Super Sonic after you collect the Chaos Emeralds, which is kind of a rip-off of Dragon Ball Z a little bit. I realized that as I got older, but
Was that? Did it have the purple water like where you?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one that I played.
yeah.
Thank you.
The
Dave.
music was great. The Sonic soundtrack in general for all the games is very underrated. But that's a game that I played constantly
Yeah.
as a kid. So that's my number 3.
Nice.
My number dose, Robbie already mentioned it previously, but it's Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Never played the original one, which was just Prince of Persia, but from Sands of Time on, I've played pretty much every Prince of Persia. It was just really interesting getting to run across walls, because that was really the first one to actually be able to do that, where you could run across a wall, and unless you were playing Tony Hawk, and just figuring out all these puzzles. How do I get across the room when there's these saws going this way and these things shooting up? It was just really interesting. And then there was pretty intricate combat between the villains and everything, and just the story with the Sultan and the princess and this bad guy, blah blah blah. I don't remember it all, but it was just really cool. And when you messed up, you could just rewind it, and you'd see yourself move back, and like, okay, that's where I messed up. That's where I'll fix it. And when you you would find sand and you'd recharge your dagger, and when you'd find a pot of water, you'd drink from it and you'd save it. And the narrator was really interesting. Through the whole thing, it was just so well put together.
It was, and like for the system that it was on, it was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it was definitely pushing PlayStation 2 to where it was supposed to be.
Like, I mean, it pushed that system so hard, and it did a great job with everything that it wanted to do.
And you know what Salt and Pepper would say to that?
Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun.
What's your number 2, bro?
My number 2 is a game that I used to be a Sony kid back in the day. I played a lot of
Before the dark times.
Played a lot of Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank was good.
I know that was a game series that me and my little brother Trevor loved.
Mm-hmm.
We played countless hours of it, and I even got Brett into playing it. It was just super fun, like all the different guns. Like you had a gun where you turned people into sheep.
Interesting.
I mean, it was just, like I said, it was fun, it was light, and I mean, it had its heavy points, but all in all, it was a great game. Super fun.
Never played them, but I heard good things.
Yeah, I've never played them either. So,
My number 2 is a game that, in my opinion, was well ahead of its time when it came to platforming, and that would be Banjo-Kazooie. To me, the best game that Rare ever made.
This is on the Rare replay.
That is definitely on the Rare replay. And I thought it was awesome when not only did they put it on the Rare replay, but you could get it on Xbox Arcade for the 360. So getting to revisit that, and they improved the graphics a little bit. But when it came to collecting things and just gameplay in general, it was a really fun, really cool game. And that's another game that I've played through and completed 100% and beat multiple times.
yeah, it's always like I've heard people talk about Banjo-Kazooie, that it's such a good game and everything. I've never played it.
I think you would like it.
Yeah, it's something that I definitely want to play. There's a few. I've got a list of a few that I want to play in the future. But my number 1, here we go, guys. Crash Bandicoot 2.
I like it.
Not the original one. I never played the original one, to be completely honest. But Crash Bandicoot 2, me and Joseph, my brother, we played it countless hours. And finding the evil scientist, I can't remember his name.
Dr. Cortex.
Yeah, Cortex. That son of a gun.
B-word.
Yeah.
Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, that biscuit eater. But it was just so much fun, and like going back and watching it, just get the ooga booga booga,
The mask.
the mask and everything. it was just such a fun game, and I think Neversoft did that one instead of Naughty Dog. No, Naughty Dog did do that one. Okay.
Naughty Dog went up to the racing game because
Okay.
there were the first 3. Then they did a racing game, and then
Very underrated racing game.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Very underrated.
It's similar to Mario Kart, but different enough to where it's not a ripoff.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
I love that racing game.
Yeah.
But it was just so cool to see, it's a little bit cooler, and getting all the little portals and fighting all the bosses through it. It was just so much fun. So Crash Bandicoot 2 is my number 1.
It's a good one. My number 1 is Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, such a good game.
Like playing that with my cousins all the time, especially when you're able to get into the little mine cart and go all through that. Just a great game.
So much fun.
Like countless hours were put into that game.
Something cool about Donkey Kong Country, back when Nintendo still had their own magazine, Nintendo Power.
Propaganda machine.
Yeah, I know. I got in the mail one day a VHS tape that was a behind-the-scenes look of the making of that game. It was like a 30-minute video where they actually went to Nintendo's headquarters in Washington, and it's the first time I'd ever seen, the inner workings of Nintendo, and they're showing, creating the characters, designing the levels, and everything, and it was a really cool behind-the-scenes look.
Yeah, especially in that time where, that was the internet and,
The internet was around, but it wasn't. It hadn't really exploded yet.
Yeah, there wasn't like an IGN going to these companies. They weren't putting out stuff. So that must have been really cool to see, that, oh my God, there's actually people that make video games.
The coolest thing, and it was on this video, but it's not Donkey Kong related, It was like a post-credit scene. The guy who was like hosting the video, he's standing outside this door, and he's like, "Let's see what's in here." And he opens the door, and you hear people yelling. And then a guy sees him, and he's like, "Get that camera out of here!" And the camera briefly points to the TV, and you see Killer Instinct.
Oh,
And that's how they teased it.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
It's really fun. But my number one, I've got to put a Mario game on here. Mario's the
knew it was
king
coming.
of platforming. Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. My all-time favorite Mario game. Took the original formula from Super Mario Brothers and just made it so much better. A lot of people say Mario 3 is the best Mario game of all time, but I got to go with Mario World. It introduced Yoshi. You get the cape. You get to fly. Of course, classic Fire Flower. Introduces the Koopa Kids. Has one of the coolest final boss fights from a Mario game. And it's just, I love that game.
See, it was between that or Donkey Kong as my number one, and I figured you would be the one to bring Mario into the world. So,
See, I haven't really played a lot of Mario games. I of course, played the first one,
Right.
Super Mario Brothers. Played that countless times, and played a little bit at friend's house with Mario 64. But that was really about my only entry.
Well, because
into it.
you weren't really a Nintendo kid growing up like
No,
I was.
I was a PlayStation kid.
Yeah.
I was a mix. I was a mutt.
But there's tons of platformers out there. There's some that I haven't played. I haven't played Banjo-Kazooie. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one.
Never
that I
played a
really,
Castlevania game.
Really want to get into. Just tons of stuff that are out there that I haven't played that would be interesting to do. But I'm not good at platformers, and
It's the opposite
Mario.
with me. I could play platformers all day.
See, I'm surprised that the Super Mario, what was it, Sunshine or whatever, the water one, didn't make it on your list.
That I like that game more than it gets credit for, but
I think
I wanted to keep it to one Mario game.
I know.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say Galaxy 2 would probably be on your
Galaxy 2 is so good. If they remade that in high def for the Wii U, that would be a beautiful game.
yeah.
But I don't know, maybe at some point I'll do a top 5 Mario game list. Because that
be
would
a good
definitely
list.
be on there.
That would be a good list. But guys, if you have your top 5 platformers, you can put them in the comments below because we want to see, did any of ours make your list, or do you have something totally different? Because there's lots and lots of platformers out there. But guys, make sure you comment below. And Derek, where can they find us on the interwebs?
We are all over social media. We have an awesome Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/nerdcavenetwork. A lot of fun conversations going on there. Definitely go check that out. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at nerdcavenetwork.
We also have this beautifully designed website at nerdcavenetwork.com where you can find all of our videos, articles, and podcasts. We have the Nerd Cave podcast that comes out on Tuesdays. We have Derek Diamond Experience that comes out on Thursday. It's an interview-based show, so for all you interview people, you'll like that. And we have PCP, Pop Culture Palette, coming out on Saturday nights at 7 o'clock on Cineco Radio.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you check that out. If you have a suggestion for a top 5, then put it in the comments below because we're always looking for new suggestions. And hey, yours might be picked, and then you are a lucky winner. You get a video. But guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Share this if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you keep coming back every day for more content here on our YouTube channel. This has been Zach.
Derek?
And Robbie.
Have a week.